By the time Alex reached the porch, the cold had already made decisions for him. His hands were numb enough that he couldn't feel the edge of the foil pan he'd brought, though he'd rehearsed this part. Arrive, smile, place the dish, find a chair that wasn't in anyone's way. He could hear laughter through the door, a loose, unguarded sound that didn't expect to be interrupted. The door opened before he knocked. His aunt stood there in a cardigan too thin for December, one hand on the knob as if she planned to close it quickly. She looked him up and down, eyes stopping at the pan, then lifting past his face. "We don't want you here," she said, rolling her eyes. "Go ruin someone else's holiday." It was said the way you tell a delivery driver you already paid online. Efficient. Final. Alex didn't answer immediately. He looked past her shoulder into the dining room. The table was full. His cousins leaned close, elbows touching. Someone was mid-story, hands raised, and the laugh he'd heard earlier broke again, louder now. His mother's place was empty. She'd died 3 winters ago. But the chair still sat where it always had, angled slightly out. No one looked toward the door. He nodded. The word that came out surprised him with its steadiness. "Got it?" He turned around. The door closed. Not slammed, just closed. On the sidewalk, the streetlights had already switched on, casting long shadows across the snow that had been trampled into gray. Alex walked without deciding where to go. He felt less angry than instructed, as if he'd missed the cue for outrage. What settled instead was a clean, quiet sensation, like something had finally been labeled correctly. He thought of other doors, other thresholds where he'd been asked, politely or not, to prove himself. He'd learned early to arrive early, leave late, take up less space. He'd learned how to turn jokes into armor and how to swallow the impulse to ask why. 10 minutes later, he checked his watch. Because time had started to matter again, his phone buzzed. He didn't answer. It buzzed again, then again. He stopped walking and leaned against a parked car, watching his breath cloud. A figure ran down the block, coat unbuttoned, hair askew. His father's voice cut through the air, sharp and unmistakable. "Alex?" His father skidded to a stop, bent over, catching his breath. For a moment, he just stared, as if confirming that Alex was real and not a misremembered detail. "What happened?" His father demanded, straightening. "Why are you out here?" Alex didn't rush. He held the pan out slightly, as if offering evidence. "Your sister told me to leave." "That's—" His father's face reddened. He turned back toward the house, then stopped himself. "She doesn't get to decide that." Alex shrugged. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't meant to be. "She already did." His father swore under his breath. He took out his phone and dialed, pacing a tight circle on the icy sidewalk. Alex watched him, noting the change, not affection, exactly, but urgency. Authority moving into place. When his father finished the call, he didn't ask Alex to come back inside. He didn't touch him. He said, "Wait here," and marched toward the house. The door opened again, this time hard enough to rattle the glass. Voices rose. Not shouting, controlled, the clipped sentences that carried weight because they were new. Alex couldn't hear the words, but he recognized the tone his father used when he was done negotiating. Neighbors' windows glowed. Somewhere a car alarm chirped and fell silent. After a while, the door opened again. His father came out alone. He closed it behind him and stood there, hands in his pockets, staring at the snow. "I told her she was out of line," he said. "I told her that doesn't happen again." Alex waited. Silence had become a tool he trusted. His father sighed. "Your cousins are confused." "They didn't." "I know," Alex said. "It wasn't an accusation." "You could come back in," his father offered. "If you want." Alex looked at the house. At the window where he could see people shifting in their seats, the table suddenly too crowded, the empty chair more noticeable than before. He imagined walking back in, the forced smiles, the apologies that would arrive like afterthoughts. He imagined spending the evening managing other people's discomfort. "I don't want to," he said. His father nodded. "Once." "Okay." They stood there for another minute, the cold insisting on an ending. His father reached for the pan. "I'll take this in," he said, then paused. "Or I can bring it back." Alex considered. "Take it," he said. "Let them eat." Later, alone in his apartment, Alex reheated leftovers and ate standing up. He scrolled through messages without opening them. There would be explanations tomorrow, and justifications, and a quiet campaign to restore normalcy. He didn't block anyone. He didn't post anything. He didn't need witnesses. In the days that followed, the shape of things changed subtly. Invitations arrived with more care, then fewer altogether. His father called more often, sometimes to talk about work, sometimes to say nothing important. His aunt sent a text that said, "A misunderstanding," without punctuation. Alex replied, "I understand X." On Christmas morning the next year, he woke up late and made coffee. Snow fell without urgency. He set his phone down and watched the steam rise, feeling the absence where a certain ache used to be. It wasn't victory. It wasn't closure. It was something quieter and less theatrical, the knowledge that when a door closes, you don't have to knock again just to prove you were invited once. Somewhere, a table was set without him. Somewhere else, another table would be set differently. He would decide which one to approach, and when,